Welcome everybody. Are you ready for more beaches? Well, we have to go down MacArthur Road to finish up the end of the southernmost point, the end of Hutchinson Island. And from there we're going to stay in Martin County, but we're going to go down to Jupiter Island. Now if you missed the first two episodes, as before, there's links below so you can check them out. And for now, I just want to tell you at the end, we're going to see three very different beaches, and then at the end I'm going to tell you about a fourth. So you don't want to miss that. This is a really nice day. I don't want to waste a minute of it, so I'm getting out of here now. First up, Chastain Beach. Join us as we go out and about to discover the Treasure Coast.
I'm Denny, and I'm usually behind the camera.
Continuing on MacArthur Road from Ross Whitham Beach to Chastain Beach, you'll have views of the ocean and Indian River, and it's actually a beautiful drive along this residential road. Across from Chastain Beach, there's another parking lot providing access to the river for fishing, or kayaking, or just a stroll through the aquatic vegetation. This time we're at Chastain Beach. Now we do have a bathhouse here. It's a small one, and we also have rinse showers for your feet when you come up out of the sand. And let's go check this one out. Little lizards. There are so many of these little lizards laying around, but they're so quick. We haven't been able to get any still shots of them. So this one has a short board path to come up. You don't have to walk through the sand to get on the beach here. And once again, looking down here, we have some of those rocky areas. But it's not that much. We have just a few this little rocky patch right over here. The rest of the beach looks pretty much open. There are a couple houses here that are right on the beach. But this is a public beach, so obviously it's not a problem. Okay, I want to point out one more thing. Over here behind me, I don't know if you can see them here, we'll walk down, but there's some more nesting sites. Now I did research this in the beginning, and from what I saw, the nesting season was June, July. The board outside of this beach says from May, I believe, until October. I don't know what the difference is. If you do know, put a comment below, let me know. I'm thinking that maybe it's because there are several different sea turtles here, so maybe it's the one species versus the other. But they also had a sign, and I was pointing out that you needed to stay away from the nesting sites, that they're very protected, and it's important. But they also had a bit about what to do at nighttime. And that's just as important, because when they do hatch, that's when they come out. Lights are a big problem, so if you're coming onto the beach, try to keep your lanterns or your flashlights away from the nesting sites. And they really want you not to use camera with your flash on. If you do see a turtle coming up out of the water, don't go near it because it might disturb it from coming to its nesting site, and that would be an issue, a big problem for that turtle anyway. And if you do see any hatchlings, do not disturb them. Just observe them and experience that for what it is, but don't disturb them in their path. Don't think that you're going to help them along or, guide them to the way. Mother Nature takes care of all that, and it's a process. A lot of them don't make it. I think what I was reading was that 70% of them don't, so it's really important that we help to protect the ones that do. Just be mindful of it. Next up, Bathtub Beach. This is the last beach on the southern end of Hutchinson Island, and easily one of the most popular beaches in the county. This is also a popular beach for snorkeling and scuba diving as well. The bathtub area is to the left, and although it does draw a good number of people, it is also a good-sized beach. We've been here with a good number of people, and still there's plenty of beach to claim a spot to soak up the sun for hours. We're at Bathtub Beach. It's one of the 4 guarded beaches in Martin County. Unlike Jensen and Stuart, it does not have the park setting or any of the recreation amenities. It does have the bathrooms and the pavilion here with a few tables underneath. They are undergoing a beach restoration at the time. There's a lot of new plantings all along the dunes to build that up, and they're very strict about where you can walk and where you can't, so just keep that in mind. There's a lifeguard station over here, and behind me you see one. And this beach it's pretty massive. It's a good sized beach. It's all pretty level, and there are, I see a couple turtle nesting sites. I can't wait to show that to you. But down here at this end of it is why it's called Bathtub Beach, and we're going to go down there to explain that to you. So let's go. So this is one of the things that I wanted to show you. This is a turtle nesting site. Now, they're roped off on tape here in Martin County beaches. This is the way you'll see them. It might be something different on some other beaches. And this pole, which we'll show you, has a marking on it so they know which ones. Turtle nesting sites are extremely protected. Do not disturb them. You will be fined. And speaking as someone who has had the amazing experience of watching hatchlings, not here, but on other beaches I have had that experience. It's just crazy. They just come up out of the sand and they just make their way to the water. It's a beautiful thing to see, all these tiny little babies. Now the one down there has a sign on it. This does not. So I wanted to point out this one so you'd know that that's what this is. There's another one a little bit away from me right there. And like I said, the one down further on the beach. Just be mindful of them and make sure that you're aware of them being protected and not to disturb them. So this is Bathtub Beach. Now, you can see a few rocks right over here, but it does go on a little bit further. This is high tide. We're going to show you a clip of what it was like yesterday when we were here when it was not. But all along there is a living reef. It is extremely protected. They do not want you to touch the reef, so don't swim up and swim on. If you want to go out into the ocean, you have to go down a little bit to get out. The reason it's called bathtub is that this living reef creates a barrier right in here in this little pool area. It's extremely shallow. At low tide, you'll see a lot of it is sand and you can walk up on it. And I don't know if you can actually see that guy down there. We're going to try to get a little closer, but he's only up to his shins. It's not deep at all even in high tide. So the fact that it's protected from the reef, it's very warm. And this is as active as you'll see it because this is high tide. Yesterday it was very calm. That makes it perfect for families. It's a great little spot for your little ones, and it's kind of like having your own wading pool in the ocean. That's the reason for the name bathtub, and it's also the reason for its popularity. Now, being one of the guarded beach, you can get one of the beach wheelchairs here, but because of its popularity, I would call maybe, or at least check when you first get here before you attempt to get on the beach. However, if you do have a wheelchair loved one, the ramp going onto the deck and the deck is very wide open, and as we'll show you in a shot at the end, if they were right on the edge of the fence at the deck area, the pavilion, you could be right below it and still feel pretty close to your loved ones. So, I'm just going to take a little walk along the beach and enjoy it. So as I was saying, if you have someone with you who's wheelchair bound and they can't come down on the beach, the nice thing about Bathtub is that it may change when this is grown up, but for now, your loved ones could be right there. And you could be, and the wheelchair here, you don't feel like you're so far away. Usually the pavilions and the decks they're down a path and you can't even see each other. I like that about this. One more thing. If you are enjoying your journey with us, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Thanks. Heading to Hobe Sound, you can take Route 95, US 1, or A1A to Bridge Street. Aren't these banyan trees beautiful? The canopy makes for a gorgeous ride. All the beaches thus far have been on Hutchinson Island, but for Hobe Sound Beach, we're heading to Jupiter Island. Unlike the causeways further north, the river is much narrower here, so it's a much smaller bridge. We cross over the bridge, and the bridge street ends right at the parking lot for the beach. At this stop, we are at Hobe Sound Beach. Hobe Sound Beach is in Martin County. It's at the southern end of Martin County. There is a lifeguard station here. There is a pavilion and restrooms, but there are no showers. They do have the rinse shower stations. There is one big pavilion. There are no grills available, and so let's go see what's unique about the beach. This is Hobe Sound Beach. This is one of the 4 guarded beaches in Martin County. It's also one of the southernmost beaches in Martin County. In my quest to find you what's unique about each place, I can tell you right off the bat, the sand is darker. It is considerably darker. It also feels much softer, to be honest with you. And from what I've been researching, the sand changes its colors due to what its makeup is, and having a larger content of crushed fossils is one of the reasons that sand gets that dark gray or black coloring. So maybe that's it. If you know anything different, please comment below. We'd like to know what you know. So the other thing about Hobe Sound, the water seems a little greener, so that tells me that it's a little shallower further out. It's a beautiful day here today. It's a little windy. The red flag is out, which means high hazard in the water. However, there are plenty of people here. It's obviously a great day to enjoy Hobe Sound Beach. So I hope you enjoyed those 3 beaches today. They were very different. We showed you a couple smaller ones the last time. There were no bathrooms, no amenities. So Chastain, number 1, we've been here several times, and it clearly draws a younger crowd. I'd say late teens to early 20s. But it does have a bathhouse and the foot showers. And then we went to Bathtub. Bathtub is wonderful for young children. It's protected, it's shallow, it's warm, perfect place for those toddlers. Also has a pavilion and bathhouses. And then we went to Hobe Sound. Hobe Sound was very different because of the sand. It was the first dark sand that we've seen here. Also, again, that and Bathtub are lifeguarded stations, and they have rest stations and pavilions. So they were 3 great beaches to show you. One beach that we have not been able to film yet because of temporary closings and the amount of unpredictable rain that we've had, we haven't gotten there to film, but it's Blowing Rock Preserves. Now, Blowing Rock Preserves is famous for its rock. It's Anastasia Rock, and it is the largest exposed area of it along the East Coast. It's most prevalent in Florida, but this is the largest. And also, of the 400 sites nationwide, this is the most visited site by the Nature Conservancy. The last thing I want to say is that I know I've said the rules for Martin County, but they apply to the public beaches. Now, the Blowing Rock Preserve is not public space, but it is open to the public. They do have hours of operations and days that they're open or closed. There is no food or beverage allowed. And I have to tell you from all my research, it's still out in the universe for me to find out. If you know, let me know. Are dogs allowed on Blowing Rock Beach? Well, that's it for today. We hope that you enjoyed it and that you'll join us again next time. So we'll see you as we continue our Beaches of the Treasure Coast series on today's treasure.